Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's how you play basketball, fellas. That's how you bring the energy and that's how you bring the intensity. Whether we played with desperation or not, by golly, we played basketball. Nobody gave up. Nobody quit. Nobody got smoked all game with their man. Boy, was that an exciting game. Y'all, we was up by 17 points for a good little minute. You feel me? Detroit did what Detroit was supposed to do. They were supposed to come back. They are the number 1 seed for a reason. Okay? They were supposed to make this one a close call, but it wasn't close enough. Shout out to the Cavs Nation. Shout out to Cavs State of Mind. This is episode 21. This is the live game 3 reaction, fresh off the biggest win of this here Cavaliers career right now. Okay? Welcome back to Cavs State of Mind, man. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. We've been holding it down all season. All my life, I had to fight. And boy, did we fight today. Remember the hashtag Be the Fight? Remember our hashtag Be the Fight a couple years ago? Well, it's back. Welcome back to Cavs State of Mind. Boy, oh boy, are y'all excited? Yo, I almost lost my voice this game. Coaching them from the sidelines of my living room. I almost lost my mind this game. First and foremost, shout out to the defense. Boy, Donovan. Don. That's how you play, my boy. Harden. Y'all was looking like 2 old men swimming upstream last game. That's how you play basketball. Listen, from shout out to, let me settle down a little bit. Cavs Nation, y'all, we have been a part of some very intense basketball. Let's say over the last, what year is this? 20 years. Okay, intense basketball, a lot of letdowns, a lot of peaks, a lot of valleys, a roller coaster ride. Okay, everybody at one point was sitting on the couch of Dr. Phil crying our woes about this Cavs team, not just this year's, but last year's and years before. What a hell of a game today. Listen. Box score, finished final score 116 to 109. The score won't tell you exactly what went down this game. Okay. Heart, be the fight hashtag. Hashtag let them know. Hashtag Cavs. Cavs, are we back? We desperately win the game at home and we stay alive in this series. It looks like only teams are going to win at home. Now we have to seal the deal and get game 4. But before we get ahead of ourselves, welcome back to Cavs State of Mind. While you here, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, man. Hop into the chat, hype this video up because we going to talk about our Cavaliers right now, boy. Whew. I'm just coming down from a Cavs high. And it's been real. Let me pull up these team stats for y'all one time for your mind, man. Listen, again, while y'all here, help us hit 1,000 subscribers. We on the road to the big 1K. Help us get there. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we gone. Y'all know this series is very personal for a lot of reasons, and it's been proven game in and game out why this series is personal. Let's look at the team stats real quick for a very quick recap. Okay, shout out to the Cavs for finally learning how to hit a shot. 58% from the field. Now, let me tell y'all something. If Detroit allow us again for another game to shoot above 50% from the field, we're definitely going to even up this series. Welcome back to Cavs State of Mind. Shout out to you, Jeremy. Congrats on the win, man. Peace and freedom to you. Thank you. Boy, did we need it. I'm telling you, I helped them get there. Okay. Maybe they watched the last episode of Cavs State of Mind where I cooked them and maybe they was tired of getting sizzled out. Let's go. Let's talk about the team stats. We found our jump shot today, fellas. Ladies and gents, the Cavs found their jump shot today. 12 from 32 from 3. We've been shooting under than 20% from the 3-point line. We finally were able to make shots today. Here's the big discrepancy I want to highlight though. We did shoot 58% from the field. Look how many shots we got up, 74. Look how many shots they got up, 91. That's what kept them in the game. They got a lot more shots than us. Why? They got a lot more offensive rebounds than us. They killed us on the glass, 40-33. It won't show in the overall rebounding numbers, but the offensive boards, they slayed us. Shout out to the turnovers, okay? We had 6 turnovers in the first quarter. It was starting to look like y'all don't learn nothing, do y'all? We gonna keep bumping our head against the wall like crash dummies? No. We tried to clean it up. On top of that, we kind of muddied up the game on their side by causing turnovers. Let's talk about the defense. Fast forward to the fourth quarter. Last couple minutes in the fourth quarter, okay? Max Strus, bad fouls, dumb fouls. You know, one thing about Max Strus, he is going to foul. And all of his fouls are the most asinine fouls I can conjure up in my brain. But that's okay. He made it back up on the defensive end, okay? Stealing that ball right out the air. Okay, do we have 2 Spider-Mans on this team? Okay? Is this Thanos? We got the Marvels over here? Okay, the Avengers all over the squad. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Max Strus, turnover. Boom. Get the ball. Boom. Finish the layup. Okay, fast break. Then Jared Allen. Boom. Okay, let me pick that out the air too. Defense wins games. Offense sells tickets. Now, we've been doing a whole lot of ticket selling, okay? But what we haven't been doing is playing credible, noteworthy defense. We are a blue-collar city. We are the mistake allegedly on the lake. We're going to win this series from our defensive mind. Now, we do have to hit shots. Again, we shot 58% from the field. Detroit, don't let that happen again. Cavs, rinse and repeat. 38% from 3. Free throws, we could have definitely gave this game up just from the free throw line. By golly, our bigs can't hit threes. Free throws. Our bigs cannot hit free throws. Again, while Evan Mobley wanting to do this, looking like he on a short bus every time he shoot a 3 or make a 3, I need for you to keep that same energy on the free throw line. We're going to look at the box score here in a minute, but let's just look at this real quick, okay? Cavs led this game 70% of the way. 76% of the way we led this game. Now, this is uncanny for this Cavs team that specifically has played behind all series, but really all playoffs, right? Shout out to the Cavs. We finally didn't dig ourselves into a 15 to 20 point hole in the first half. Is that so hard to just be competitive? Is that so hard to not shoot yourself in the foot? Okay? What are we doing? I was going to reference 8 Mile there, but you know, that's Detroit, so I'm not going to reference that. Shout out to y'all. Let's look at this box score. Hold on. Let's look at the contribution from the box score and from the personnel that played. Now here, Dean Wade was a -9. Y'all keep telling me that Dean Wade is something. I don't know what he is. Maybe he is something as it relates to defense on Cade. But let me tell you something. There's a reason why you're not in the game in the fourth quarter. Okay? If you start and you can't play more starter minutes, 16 minutes, you don't deserve to start. At what point, we talking to Kenny now, at what point do we just start Strus or just start Tyson? At what point? We're going to get to that on a later day. I'm trying to keep us on a high note. Let's talk about Jared Allen. Welcome back, Jared Allen, to the NBA. You showed out in Game 7 of Toronto, and then tucked your tail those first 2 games in Detroit. Okay? 18 points. First of all, 31 minutes. That shows us that he didn't get in foul trouble. 2 fouls, 3 fouls in the first quarter. Okay? 31 big minutes. Huge critical rebounds at the end of the game. Huge critical steals and defensive possessions in that fourth quarter from our starting center, Jared Allen. What I would believe, he's more reliable, more dependable, okay, and more on time and on target than our max power forward and Evan Mobley. We're talking about him later. Okay, 18.7 for 9 from the field. Okay, free throws, miss free. Okay, okay, 4 rebounds. We gotta highlight that too. Because neither one of our bigs again got into the double in rebounds. They had Reed coming off the bench smoking us. What? For me, that's disgusting work that our bigs, neither one of them individually can get us 10 rebounds. All right, Mobley in the fourth quarter definitely tightened up on the glass. But the first 3 quarters, I was like, what? He's getting beat everywhere. He's getting pushed. He's right there in the rebounding box. He's right there, and he's not getting the rebounds. On the free throw line, when all we got to do is box out, he's not sealing his man and not getting the rebound. Drives me crazy, but at least he wasn't a negative 18 like he typically has been. Okay, +6 for Mobley, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks from both of our bigs. Defense wins games again. Detroit number 9, welcome back to Cavs State of Mind. Yeah, y'all got this one. Harden step up big time in the clutch. Schroeder, Duncan Robinson flopping all over the place. Cade, 3 turnovers in a row were horrible and unacceptable. Shaking my dang on head. Yeah, that was definitely uncanny for Cade, right? President Cade, that was definitely uncanny for him in those turnovers. Unacceptable. Underline that. What did Jaylen Brown just talked about the flopping? The flopping, we got to turn down the flopping a little bit. Okay. Look, the used car man, it just makes the basketball game look a little fraudulent. Okay, so from both teams across all positions, okay, point guard to center, we got to just tighten up on that. Both teams, all positions, not to single out anybody individually, but just tighten up. It kind of just we don't like that. But Schroeder, in his contribution, okay, 4 for 5, huge threes, corner threes, huge threes. They dared him. They gave him space. He made it count. They dared him. They gave him space. He made it count. Rinse and repeat. On top of that, there were multiple times where he could have taken a shot and he decided to pump fake and dribble in and try to get something a little closer because he knew his luck was running out. Boy, you ain't gonna hit 5 or 6 threes this game. Okay, so you 3 for 3. That 4th 3 you shoot, you gonna miss that. So don't even try it. Just okay. Just, we gonna go to the rack on that one. We gonna swing the ball on that one. So shout out to Schroeder. I'm gonna get to Harden. I'm gonna get to Mitchell and Harden in a minute, right? Them the main guys. So we gonna get them last. Strus, 26 minutes. Okay, I'm an advocate again of Strus and Wade's minutes being flipped. I'm an advocate, I'm going to say it again, of Strus and Wade's minutes being flipped. I said this on the last episode. He's playing about 25 to 28 minutes, and this guy deserves 32 to 34 minutes. He needs to be playing starter-like minutes because he's a starter-like contributor. He's been a starter on this Cavs team really since he's been here. He needs to be back in that starting lineup. Period. He keeps the defense honest. And then did y'all see the moments when we had Strus on one side and Sam on one side? Listen. And then you had Harden and Donovan in there. And then you had Mobley in there or Jarrett in there. The defense is like, hold on, can't really help off nobody. When Dean Wade is in there, yeah, he gave us 1-3. But again, when he's in a game, he's only shooting 2 times. 3 times. I think the most shots he's taken a game is maybe 3 or 4. Come on. Now, Sam didn't have his best game Max didn't have his best game on the offensive side, but guess what? He's still +8. He has the highest plus-minus on the team coming off the bench playing 26 minutes. Tell me why, again, I'm going to say this every episode. Tell me why Max Strus is not in the starting lineup. I don't care what D. Wade, what y'all say. And not y'all. What Kenny says, what the analytics says about Dean Wade checking Cade. Did it work today? Let's look at Cade's numbers. Triple-double. 27 points. Now, he had to take 27 shots to get them 27 points. Guess what? When you that guy, when the success of your team rides on whether you're thriving or not, I don't give a dang on how many shots you take up. You still got to hit the stat line and you still got to put the ball in the basket. 27 points, 10 for 27 from the line, from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, 5 for 6 from free throw, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 8 turnovers. We talked about Harden, right? Don't matter if you got 7 assists, 8 assists, and you got more than half of that in a turnover. So you're a +2 when it comes to your productivity on passing the ball, on getting people available. So K definitely is going to be looking at himself like that. But again, you got to attribute a defense to that. You got to attribute his turnovers. A partial of that is defense. If half of his turnovers are just careless passes and offensive fouls, right, charges and things, the other half is just because defense tightened up on him. But again, even with 8 turnovers, he's still a +6. Second highest on the team. Let's get back to the Cavs though. Let's talk about Sam. Okay, Sam didn't take a lot of shots today, but his presence mattered more than him actually shooting the basketball. His presence was felt on the court. When Sam is out there, everybody is worried about where he is, if he's open. The 3 that he did make, over double coverage, sidestep, corner left 3. That I was sitting on the recliner. I jumped up out of my seat like I was a kid again. My mama yoked me up. I said, "Oh, did that boy footwork is incredible." Okay? And this is his first game back off of the hamstring, right? You got to think Sam and Strus are going to shoot a lot better game 4. Oh, that's my nasty face, because best basketball hasn't even been played yet. Best Cavaliers basketball we still haven't seen yet. The moment we can get out of the first quarter with 1 to 2 turnovers, that's the moment the Cavs are playing their best basketball. We haven't seen it yet. But shout out to Max. Shout out to Sam. 7 points. Okay, 2 for 4 from the field. 1 for 3 from 3-point line. Perfect from the free throw line. Okay, no rebounds, no assists, but also no turnovers. +4 from +4 plus minus. Tyson, 3 points. Okay, 14 minutes. I think he played solid minutes for the defense. That he was, his assignment. His assignment is K. That's a tough cover. There are a lot of times where he get caught on the switch as well when his assignment is going to be Tobias. That's a tough cover. Tyson has to get smarter though, especially on the offensive side. Let me tell you something about that inbound pass. Right, dead ball inbound pass where he just literally threw it to Detroit. I said, boys, if Max Strus is coming back to the ball, you got to pass him the ball, but you don't pass it directly to his numbers, because that means the defense have an equal chance of getting the ball. You have to pass it out, and then Max, okay, guards. Sidebar, guards, when you are taking out the ball, other guards, when you are coming to get the ball, you have to give a target. You have to seal and give a target for the inbound pass. What are we doing? This is basic fundamentals. The thing that really it scuffs my Timbs. It irks me. It grinds my gears. Okay, the thing that really bothers me is that to be in the NBA, to be in the WNBA, to be in the NFL, to be in the MLB, we can go on and go on. Basic fundamentals should be mastered. Let's talk about basketball. There's nobody coming from high school to the NBA anymore, right? So if you were the Kobe's and you were the KG's and this, that, and the third, I expect a little bit of knowledge not attained when it comes to fundamentals. You got here solely off athleticism and raw talent. But y'all, a lot of these guys play 4 years in college. Hello, Jalen Tyson. Hello, Max Strus. A lot of these guys played a lot of time. They spent a lot of years in college. Fundamentals should be, it's like knowing your social security number. whether to do a overhead pass or a chest pass or a bounce pass. There was a turnover in the first quarter caused by Donovan, but it's going to be attributed to Dean Wade because, first of all, Dean Wade is coming up for the pass, but it's not enough space. Donovan threw a strong arm chest pass to Dean Wade. That's too hot of a pass considering the space. That's not the right pass. Again, when you are receiving the pass, you have to clear space and seal your man. So if you are coming up and they are on you, put that one arm out and then put your receiving, your target hand out. Throw it here. You have to show me where to throw it to. If you do this and I throw it here, whether it's a hot pass or not, your hands need to be strong. You know what? Around my desk, I got a bunch of hand things, right? I got a bunch of squeezies, right? You know the old school hand strengthener. It looked like a little triangle thing, and you squeeze it, and you can tighten the tension and all that. What are we doing? What are they doing? Their hands aren't strong. Mobley, let's go back to Mobley for a minute. With all them rebounds he didn't get. He should have had 14 rebounds today because there are multiple opportunities for Mobley to grab the ball, but his hands aren't strong. His hands are strong. You have to strengthen here. Get your hand in that rice and get it going. Strengthen that. Okay, look, I'm gonna keep it on a high note. Keep it on a high note. Y'all know one thing about me is I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. So as much as I love this Cavaliers victory, there is so much we could tighten up on. So much so much we better tighten up on before game 4. Okay. I didn't even know the game was today. I thought the game was going to be tomorrow. I was turned up for the WNBA. I started my afternoon 1:00. I'm turned up. I'm watching Paige versus Caitlin. Okay. I don't know how many of y'all WNBA fans, or even if not, you're a casual spectator. That's the game you should have been watching. Okay. So I went from Dallas Wings to Indiana Fever to the Cavs versus Detroit. It's been a great Saturday for me. It's been a great Saturday for basketball fans worldwide. Boy, I tell ya, so excited. Back to this box score. Let's talk about our guys. 39 minutes from Harden, 38 minutes from Mitchell. Let's just talk about the minutes in itself. In itself. Last few games, all playoffs, they've been playing 35 minutes. What? Let's look at their starters. Let's look at Cade. How many minutes did Cade play? 39 minutes. Tobias Harris, 37 minutes. That's what you want your starter guys to play, right? 38 plus minutes, especially when you're getting paid what you're getting paid, especially when you know the team needs you. They need you. Shout out to Harden, man. 19 points. Let's talk about him first. 19 points, 8 for 14. 3 for 7 from the 3-point line. He found his jumper, y'all. He found his jumper. There are pros and cons to James Harden, especially in this game. What we've seen over the course of this playoffs 2026 is there's been a whole lot of cons to James Harden, right? We've seen moments in the fourth quarter where he's tightened up, especially offensively. But even in this game, before I talk about the pros, I gotta highlight the cons, right? We're going to talk about defense a little bit. He did have great moments where he stepped up defensively. Okay. Moments where he stepped up defensively. Okay. He had a great closeout to seal the game over Duncan Robinson, right? He had some pretty good contested shots on Tobias Harris, really throughout. But here's the thing that I'm looking at with James Harden. He don't have a sprint button in him. Not when it comes to defense. I've not yet once seen him sprint back on defense. I've not yet once seen him sprint to the paint to help cover. There was a moment. Donovan Mitchell got caught on the switch with Tobias, right? James Harden is checking a Sore Thompson. Thompson is on the right hand side of the court. On the wing, you have Donovan and Tobias on the left hand side. Of course, Tobias is in that mid post and he's backing Donovan down. The assignment is for James to come over and double, but he didn't sprint over with a hard double. What happens is that Tobias can still get his look off. He can still get his shot, a clean shot, because all he's going to do is fade away from the double. But if the double is coming slow, I see it's coming, I can still get my shot, I'm not rushed. If the double is coming fast, now I'm rushing my shot. Now my shot is normally short, right? The closeout, the contest, especially on the help, it has to be quicker, right? I don't know. I don't own a pair of the Hardens. What is either Hard 9s or the Harden 10s? I don't own those. I had the first two pairs of Hardens, right? What I do know about Adidas in general, when it comes to a basketball shoe, those Adidas are like bricks. They're mad heavy. Right. When you pick up the Adidas, I went to Dick's Sporting Goods not too long ago. I'm shopping for a new basketball shoe, right? So I look at the AEs and I'm real big on, like, if I don't watch that player intensively, like, I'm more than likely I'm not going to buy their shoe, right? But I just wanted to try it out. When it comes to hooping, I hate to say it, I'm a Nike girl when it comes to basketball shoe, right? Because in my opinion, the Nike shoes are just they're a lot lighter. So I'm picking up shoes. I pick up the AE. I'm like, damn, this is a brick. What the hell? I pick up the Hard. I'm like, what is these cinder blocks? How are they hooping in these? They ain't even have the Donovans in Dick's Sporting Goods, right? I end up going with the Sab threes. Okay, Sab, ain't nothing but a remix Kobe, so she ain't gonna let me down. So I'm thinking, fast forward to get back to today's game. I'm thinking, are the Adidas shoes so heavy that these guys sometimes just don't physically have a pep in their step because the shoes are like bricks, right? It would make sense. You got three of our starters wear Adidas. Dean Wade wear KGs. Strus wear KGs. Tyson wear books. He probably need to get about them books though. He gonna have to get on about them books, right? We got what's my boy Dennis? He wear Pumas. Pumas are Puma, depending on which one. I think the one he wears is like, I wouldn't fool with them LaMelo Pumas. I wouldn't fool with them. They're a little brick heavy too. That being said, man, I think, man, Donovan plays better when he's not in his latest shoe with the zip up, when he's in his last year's shoe. If y'all been watching Cavs all season, the moment Harden came over to the Cavs, Donovan went to his current shoe release. But prior to that, all season long, he has been playing in last year's Donovan Mitchell's. This year's Donovan Mitchell's, he didn't put them on until February. I wonder why. I don't know why to change up. He needed, probably, in my opinion, go back to that lighter Donovan Mitchell shoe from last season. That's a sidebar. That being said, Harden had a great game. Great fourth quarter. Great defensive fourth quarter. Look at the turnovers. 3 turnovers to 7 assists. I still don't like these 3 turnovers, 6 turnovers out of our starting guards. But listen, beggars can't be choosy when these guys have been contributing 10 turnovers a game. So I'm not. All I could do is say thank you for trying to clean it up a little bit. I don't know if that's because it was a white out here in Cleveland. I don't know if because we were at a home game and we wore the throwback navy blue jerseys. You feel me? Okay. I don't know why we decided to all of a sudden keep the ball today, but outside of that fourth quarter, God King. Outside of that fourth quarter, outside of that first quarter, man, we definitely tightened up when it came to turning that ball over. The God King said Kenny is crazy for giving Harden that moment at the risk of losing the game. The Cavs were up by 1 point and only needed to drive the lane, get fouled, or make the shot to seal the game. Why risk it? Now, great point. Two reasons why you risk it. First of all, Kenny ain't big on making no adjustments. We've seen that. The fans have been calling for an adjustment in that starting lineup. Get Dean Wade out of there. Get Tyson to get Strus in there, whatever. We've been calling for that. He won't do it. Right? one thing that he did do was he subbed Harden out pretty early in the first quarter and got Schroeder in there, right? So I did like that. Schroeder got extensive minutes today, even though I think Schroeder could probably get a couple of more minutes. But 22 minutes off the bench, 11 points. Okay, perfect from the 3-point line. He had 2 turnovers, but we gonna turn the ball over. It just and they usually all come from our guards. Dean Wade's turnovers were just scary. He drove to the basket, jumped up in the air under the basket, didn't know what to do, tried to pass it back out. But you follow the leader, right? When your lead guards do the same exact thing, kind of everybody follows. So once Harden and Mitchell tighten up, once they start to protect the rock, I bet you everybody else will. I bet you, because leaders lead, and I'm just gonna go based off the flow. Just like when Mitchell came out with that bounce, everybody started to bounce with him, right? It rubbed off on Evan, it rubbed off on Jared early in the game. We seen Jared. Hold on, let's get to Evan Mobley real quick. What do y'all think was the biggest difference in Evan Mobley's display today? Yeah, he only had 13 points, and no, he still didn't get double doubles and rebounds, but he was 4 for 6 from the field. Okay. He could have been perfect from the field if he stopped jacking up these ugly, tired threes. And I know they open, but because you can dribble, you can just go in and go get the contact. Just go get the contact. He don't want to seek out the contact because he's scared to get to the line because he know he can't make free throws. 5 for 10 from the free throw line. What the Sam hell is that? Anyway. Look, the biggest difference with the pick and roll, especially with Mobley, right? When the pick and roll is either with Donovan and James and Mobley is setting the pick today, for the first day, the first game in the series, have I seen Mobley on the pick and roll. It's been a pick and flare. He's been shooting the three. He's been sitting out on the 3-point line, which has been essentially causing turnovers because they're looking for the dump pass, and he's out just camping out at the top of the key. Like, who do you think you are, Nas Reed? Who do you think you are? Get your in the paint. I need for them to look at the tape and we'll look at Strus and the way he cuts. Look at Sam Merrill and the way they cut. They get down there with purpose and intention. I'm setting a strong screen and I'm getting down there, right? So Mobley, especially in the first half, when we seen them dunks, them power dunks, that's what he was doing. He was setting the screen and he was rolling strong to the basket. That's what you have to do. You cannot be intimidated by Duran. Don't let all that muscle fool you. Okay, don't get scared. He got muscle. You gonna have to find you some. Mobley is a terrible free throw shoot. Terrible. And the thing about it is this is his worst free throw shooting year. He wasn't like that in prior years. I don't understand it. He needs to get in the gym, just like Lonzo Ball fixed his jump shot. He needs to get into the gym with a shooting coach. What are our assistant coaches doing? What are y'all doing? What is our strength and conditioning coaches doing? What are y'all doing? Not only can nobody stay healthy on this team, knock on wood, right? Nobody's getting stronger. In any aspect of their game, not getting stronger in the hands, not getting stronger in the upper body, but our bigs need to get stronger in the lower body. Shout out to our guy Jared Allen. I mean, he plays with all. He gives us everything he got. Usually, especially when he's on the court, especially when he's getting the minutes. When Kenny's not. One thing about Kenny, he pisses me off because he goes away from the double big lineup too soon, too early. If they're not in foul trouble, keep them in there. I don't give a damn what Detroit is doing. If Detroit want to go smaller and they want to play one big and Tobias, then put Evan on Tobias and keep your bigs in there. Mobley was a lot more aggressive and did a great job on Jalen Duran. Duran only had 4 rebounds, which is laughable for an all-star big. He hasn't had a breakout game all playoffs. Listen, Jalen Duran, in my opinion, is in the same boat with Mobley, right? You can see something special in them, right? You ain't gotta be You ain't gotta have the bifocals on. You see that there's something special there. But a lot of times they just fold. And that, for the life of me, I don't understand that. Especially when you have a leader in Donovan, okay, that's showing y'all that, these last 2 games, he giving it his all. So if that's what he doing, if he's playing stronger, then don't that just rub off on you? I don't get it. When if I'm Durn and I'm seeing K carriers, I'm getting in on this, dog. I gotta get in on this. I need to get mine. Right? I need to get I'm wondering what. Oh no, you ain't. Listen, I gotta be a part. Listen, when I was growing up, y'all remember, I don't know if they still do this in high school basketball, right? But when, every Friday or whatever, you looking at the paper, right? You looking at the scores when people used to get the paper. I mean, we don't even have a plain dealer no more in Cleveland, so I'm sure they don't do this. I don't know where local stats come now for high school teams. I don't know if y'all in Detroit. Do y'all still have y'all local paper or whatever? I don't know, but we used to be looking at, back, the sports page, high school, and you don't get into the paper unless you score, right? You can have 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks. Unless you score a point, you don't make it to the paper, right? I don't understand them. Because in my mind, that hunger, that drive to be a part of the mix, to want my name to be mentioned among the greats. It don't have to be the greats in the rafters, the all-star, the all-time, the Hall of Famer greats. We talking about the greats of right now. I'll be damned if I'm Durn. I'll be damned if y'all talking about Duncan Robinson more than me. If I'm Evan Mobley, I'd be damn if y'all talking about Sam Merrill more than me. Who you? I got one job. Get myself open, create space, seal, okay, and rebound the ball. Literally, everything else will fall into place. If you seal strong enough, they'll foul you, right? If you rebound the ball, you can get additional opportunities to score, just like Detroit did. They showing us how to win. First of all, Cade Cunningham for MVP. God, Cade Cunningham he's so damn good, man. He just so fun to watch, even though he had a ton of turnovers today. From a basketball fan, from just somebody who just like good, strong basketball, high IQ, high energy basketball, he had me shook for 4th quarter. I said, this boy they about to sneak a win out. Cade Cunningham is a monster. Now let me talk about our monster. Welcome back, Don. I'm glad you put that cape on today. We needed you, brother. You did a good job. Pound me out. Okay, bet. Donovan Mitchell, 38 points. About time he playing 38 minutes. About time he playing minutes that a starter should play in the playoffs. 35 minutes. Come on, Kenny. Play these guys. Play them. I don't give a damn if they blow 2 tires. Put 2 tires on. You better call Jiffy Lube. Put 2 more Firestone and get them back out there. 35 points. Started this game off aggressively. Started this game off attacking the basket. Started this game off attacking that mid-range. Right? Step back threes, crazy. That crossover on Duncan Robinson. First of all, he gonna have a highlight crossover every game. So shout out to that. Still didn't shoot well from 3, but that's okay. That didn't deflate him. He did miss 1 big free throw in the 4th quarter, but he did turn around and get that rebound. So I'm cool with that. 10 rebounds from Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell out-rebounded our center. Donovan Mitchell out-rebounded Evan Mobley. If I'm Evan Mobley, hey, yo, shout out to Don, man. That's my boy Spider. Hold on. Let me do the Evan Mobley voice. Shout out to Don. That's my guy Spider. He really led us. He really stepped up. He did what we know he can do. I'm Evan Mobley right now. He got a little fairy voice. Okay, that's one half of the problem. Okay, maybe he need to take a little extra testosterone. Okay, deepen the voice up. Okay, Donovan Mitchell, 10 strong grown man rebounds. He was down there jumping over people, doing the spider grab. You know how he grab it and kind of cuff it. Shout out to that. 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers. I don't like that. Okay. I don't expect many steals or many blocks. But what I do expect from Donovan also, even outside of the rebounds, I do expect him to kind of play those passing lanes a little bit more. If Harden could get a steal, so can Donovan. Our team needs to do more of contributing to getting additional possessions from our defense, right? Jared Allen had a key steal at the end of the game. We know Strus had a key steal at the end of the game. But we're not doing enough to get us more possessions, especially if we're getting beat on the offensive glass. That has to step up. We had a total of 5 offensive rebounds to their 17. It's amazing we won this game. It's amazing that we won this game. We got smoked in the free throws, right? They shot 82%. We shot 64. We got smoked on the free throws. We were about even when it comes to 3-point percentage, 38 to 36, but we made 3 more threes than them, right? And that's essentially the game. 9 points. We won this game from the 3-point line. That's essentially the game, right? If we can make 25 free throws, this could have been a double digit victory. When you look at it, we really should have had 125 today, between free throws and the amount of the lack of opportunities that we had at the field goals, because we just gave up so many offensive rebounds. If we have similar shooting, let's say they have, instead of 91 attempts, they have 83, 84 attempts. Yeah, they will still have more attempts than us, but it's a significant difference, 91 to 74. That's disrespectful. Come on, man. We got to tighten up. Again, 17 offensive rebounds, 23 defensive rebounds. We had 5 offensive rebounds and 28 defensive rebounds, right? So when it comes to closing out a possession, we tried to do well, but those tip backs, right? Those long 3 rebounds, right? Those free throw line rebounds that we absolutely should get if only we block out. Come on, man. This is basic stuff. So we got to tighten up here. I think the biggest key is we got to switch up this starting lineup. I know Kenny is not going to do that, but if you don't trust this man to play more than 16 minutes, then he wasting our money. He wasting our money. He wasting our time. He could be in the back doing some squats or something, doing some burpees, trying to get stronger. And we'll sub you in. We will sub you in for Strus, right? We'll sub you in for Strus. I want Strus in the lineup. I want Strus in the Kenny Atkinson. Make the change. Put Strus as a starter. Bring D Wade off the bench, please. Right? I think the pressure will be reduced from him if you bring him off the bench and run him with that second core. Just do it, Kenny. It ain't gonna hurt you none. Shout out to our guys overall. Again. We got beat up in a couple places. Got beat up on the offensive glass. We didn't really cause a lot of turnovers. They had 12 steals and 4 blocks. We had 3 steals and 7 blocks. They had 12 steals. They +9 in steals is ridiculous. If I'm JB, guys, don't hang your head. We played a good game. Yeah, we didn't make shots, but we played a good game. We beat them in damn every statistical category besides 3, right? Besides the 3s, we had a good game. If I'm Kenny Atkinson, guys, good job. You toughed that one out. But tighten up. Where we got to tighten up, coach? Everywhere. Yes, we shot 58%. But if we can beat them on the offensive glass or just make it even, this is a blowout victory. They got back into this game from steals and additional shot opportunities from the glass. We got to get better, y'all. They are so stressful. Let me highlight Detroit a little bit. Shout out to them a little bit. a little bit. This Cavs state of mind, so I ain't gonna give y'all too much. Okay. Um, Tobias Harris, 37 points, 37 minutes, 21 points, 50% from the field, 2 for 3. Tobias Harris, what? You can't ask for a better vet than that. Duncan Robinson. We come in each and every Cavs State of Mind episode, and last episode, I said I had no idea that the biggest threat on the Pistons squad was Duncan Robinson. He's seemingly getting open as much as he wants, right? He's still shooting over 50% from the what the fudge is happening here? Okay. Um Shout out to them. Duran. I would say all the things that he needs to do, but I don't want him to do no better than what he's doing. He just keeps sucking up the oxygen in the building, Duran, and continue to let your fan base down, because that's what he's doing. I mean, again, if Duran is only getting 8 attempts, that's not keys to success. Shout out to, though, Paul Reed, okay, because Paul Reed, he definitely helped Duran out. You don't expect Isaiah Stewart to light up the charts when it comes to offense. It is what it is. He gave you 4 points. That's cool. Shout out to him. Okay, 2 rebounds. You actually expect more rebounds from him. However, Paul Reed definitely helped fill in the gaps for what Detroit's bigs did not do. Okay. Javonte Green for them, his 3-point shot that he made, this one singular 3 that he made, it was a big 3. Again, basketball is a game about big shots, right? We shout out to Robert Horry, Big Shot Bob. Well, I guess shout out to Chauncey Billups, okay? Prior to the illegal gambling and all that whatnot, Chauncey Billups is a basketball legend, a basketball icon. One of the big things that we recognize Chauncey Billups for is making the big shots, the critical shots, and those clutch shots, those end of the quarter shots, right? Cade Cunningham reminds me so much of Chauncey Billups in his ability to do it all, right? He can take advantage of mismatches. He understands, depending on who's checking him, his basketball IQ is so up there. Depending on who's checking him, that dictates where he's trying to score, right? If he has Donovan on him, he going down. He going down into that paint. He gonna try to get the body into you, get the little fadeaway off, right? Or put you in the post, spin off you, get the little fade, reverse shot, right? That's Cade Cunningham, right? If he has Dean Wade on you, he's gonna try to use his speed, get the step back, get the 3 off, this, that, and the third, get to the free throw line, right? So he's so smart. His IQ is up there. So shout out to Cade Cunningham. Again, this is Cavs State of Mind, so I ain't gonna give y'all too much, right? Overall, it was just a very exciting game from both aspects, right? Defensively, energy wise, we started this game showing and displaying a level of energy that Cavs fans been waiting for all playoffs. All playoffs, right? Even when the introduction of the Cavs, when you got Donovan them, they line it up, right? They doing their little handshakes and this, that, and the third. Donovan, he bouncing, he dancing to the music. That let me know that he locked in. The energy is there. The energy was there today. Also, early in the first quarter, we saw he had his tongue out. He hit the little shot. He coming down the court. I said, oh boy, he got the tongue out. Okay then. Okay then, Don. We doing that? Yes, we are. He's clocked in. That's what I needed to see from our leader, from the face of our team. I needed to see him clocked in. Going back to what God King Nova said earlier, right? Kenny, at the risk of losing the game, decided to go back to Harden, go back to ISO, right, in the fourth quarter, go back to what he knows, go back to what has worked for this Cavs team prior to the playoffs. It has been late in the game, those last few crucial minutes of the game. Cavs were one of the top clutch teams in the NBA this year. We haven't seen that clutch bug, right, rise to the top. We haven't seen that in the playoffs. Today, we saw it. I told y'all Detroit fans, y'all Detroit fans, y'all come close. I told y'all, them first 2 games in Detroit, I don't know if y'all was playing with y'all food or we were playing with our food. But them games for us to have played as poorly as we played and for y'all to have shot as well as y'all shot, we shouldn't have been in those games. Yet we were. Yet y'all only won by 10 points both games, right? And there in game 2, we actually had the lead at one point in the fourth quarter, right? McKay came down 6 points in a row, da 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 da. That's in the past. We talking about the present. Right now, what we do know about the Cavs, right? I hope this is the switch that we've been looking for. Now we know that overall Detroit didn't have their best game, but they were in it. They were out of it in the first half, and they climbed back in the game because their defense. They have a mindset, they have an identity, and everything starts and stops with their defense, right? And then again, when you add Kay Cunningham, as clutch as he is, Kay Cunningham had a triple double and y'all lost. Tobias Harris still shot 50% from the field and y'all lost. Paul Reed came off the bench and gave y'all 11 points and 3 rebounds and y'all lost. We knew Dennis Jenkins, Cavs fans knew, oh, that's not gonna hold up. He's gonna play real cute at home or whatever. And guess what? We gotta tighten up because we gonna have to win one on the road. Please let it be game 5. It has to be game 5. We have to get that game 5. This is the same as the Raptors versus Cavs series. Each team protects home court. We know how that ends. Shout out to Black Hawk. Welcome to Cavs State of Mind. I hope it ain't exactly the same. Again, you right in what I'm talking about, right? The home teams have been doing what they need to do at home. Now, I think the Cavs can get game 5. If y'all let the Cavs get 2 in a row, we getting 3 in a row. Because if we go into game 4, tighten up a couple things, listen, all we got to do is shoot better from the free throw line. All we got to do is tighten up. Though, don't let every position has to rebound the ball. Every position has to box out their man. Seek out your man. Don't crash the basket. You're crashing the basket on Detroit, you're going to lose the rebounding battle. Fundamental wins. Fundamental play is always going to win. You have to put your butt on somebody's knees and box out. Kenny need to be, the whole coaching staff on the sidelines need to be like this. Okay? Look like a kid learning how to swim. No, not that way. This way. No. That's what we need to be doing on the sidelines to remind our guys to box out. If we can win this rebounding battle, and we can't say it can't happen because we did in multiple games against the Raptors. If we can win this rebounding battle, right? If we can just shoot 65-70% from the free throw line, we shot 30. Hold on, wait, where we at? We shot 64% from the free throw line. Our bigs have to shoot 70%. Evan Mobley 5 for 10. That's the same way y'all said. Kay Cunningham 8 turnovers, unacceptable. Mobley 50%. Who are you? Ben Simmons? Who are you? Andre Drummond? What's happening? What? If Rudy Gobert can get out there and make free throws, come on now. Even Andre Drummond shooting a better percentage. Andre Drummond is shooting a better percentage from the free throw line than Evan Mobley. That's disgusting. Role players playing better at home. Yes. But here's the thing. Max Strus had an amazing game 1 on the road. So if I had to bank on which role players can play better on the road, I'm banking on the Cavs role players. All day long, I'm not banking on Dennis Jenkins. Right? Shout out to Duncan Robinson. I got to keep giving him his flowers, right? Shout out to Duncan Robinson, but also Duncan Robinson come from the same cut as Max Strus. That he come from that Spoelstra system. No excuses. You play hard every possession. Sometimes it's to our detriment when Strus plays hard because he fouls, silly, stupid fouls. Before this game, Harden was getting blamed, but it's the role players that must step up. Absolutely. Again, there were a lot of passes in the first two games that some of the clean passes that Harden made. But if you kick it out, if I'm doing the work to get you open and you just not Dean Wade, Jalen Tyson, Schroeder, whatever, Dennis. If I'm doing the work to get you open, you got to make the shot. Shout out to Dennis. He made the shots today. He made the shots. He was perfect from the 3-point line. Shout out to Dennis, right? Max Strus didn't shoot that great. Guess what? He going to have a breakout party game 4. Sam Merrill didn't shoot that great. Guess what? Again, our role players didn't even play that great today. Not for real, for real. Our role players. Schroeder had, aside from Schroeder, Strus had 7 points. Merrill had 7 points. Tyson had 3 points. Tyson had a better game on the road, game 2, right? Strus had a better game on the road, game 1. Okay. Finally, we would have won either one of those game 1 or game 2s if Harden would have just showed up and not turned the damn ball over, especially game 2. You had Donovan had a wasted game with 30 plus points, yet we lost. So again, Cade with a triple double, Tobias played well, Duncan Robinson played well, and y'all lost. Don't let the Cavs even up the series. How confident are you in Harden closing out series knowing his history? His annual choking came early in game 1 and game 2. Should we not expect that in game 6 or game 7? Well, I would say this to answer your question. The most critical game will be game 5. That's going to be the critical game. We have to win game 5. We win game 5. Close out this series game 6, y'all. Close it out game 6. But we have to win game 5. I still think that there is enough or more than enough experience on our team than there is in Detroit when it comes to playoffs, right? Not to mention Cade, but Cade ain't never been here before, but Cade showed that don't matter. So, but now let's talk about the other people. Jared Allen has been here before, and he's choked. So it's time for Jared Allen. He played a pretty good game today, actually. 18 points, 4 boards. Got to get better on the rebounds. We already know that. But he gave us 2 blocks and a critical steal at the end to pretty much close the game out, right? Evan Mobley has been here before, but he's disappointed us. He had a really good game. He had a 30-point playoff game against Boston Celtics a couple years ago when we got smoked. We need both of them to have a good game in the same game, not alternate games. We need our bigs to show up in the same game. Whoever that 5th starter is, I hope to goodness is not Dean Wade going into game 4. But because Kenny is not really known for making huge adjustments, it wouldn't be a huge adjustment to put Max Strus back in your starting lineup, though, right? He can check K. He just has to not foul, right? He just has to make those shots as difficult as possible. Right? One thing what Cade does when Cade sees Strus, Cade likes to go for the 3-point shot over getting to the paint. Right? When he sees Dean Wade, he tries to put his body into his body into Dean Wade to create more space. On the opposite side, when he sees Strus, he just creates space with his dribble and his speed and his finesse. Right? So you get different looks, but it's the tenacity. It's the fact that Dean Wade can cause disruption on the defensive side. Not Dean Wade, I'm sorry. Max Strus can cause disruption on the defensive side and can make you play honest defensively as well, because you got to check for him. You got to account for him. Plus, he can put the ball on the floor. Dean Wade can't dribble to save his life. When he try to dribble, it's a turnover. When he tries to pass it, it's weak. It's no muscle behind nothing. No strong dribble. All you need is, as a player, whatever position you play, right? Because this ain't this ain't football, or you could just get out there and play defense. You have to be able to play you have to have some level of offensive ability. Y'all remember them old school Memphis Grizzly teams? You had Tony Allen. Y'all remember Rondo, the people who are known for defense. That Rondo knew in the fourth quarter, remember Rondo with Boston? Fourth quarter, everything he put up, it went in. Because it's like, I'm still Rondo though, right? Like, I can still score. Right? Remember Rondo gave us that reverse layup where he swing it this way and then bring it back this way, right? Tony Parker could get into the lane at any point. You could be known for whatever, but you still have to be able to play. You have to have an offensive game as well. You cannot just play one side of the court. This is basketball 2026, baby. Even Donovan out there like, move them puppies. Yeah, put them arms out. Yeah. Force Cade to take a difficult shot. I'm not asking you to pick Cade's pockets. It's not happening. I'm just asking you to stay in front of him. You're not going to stop him. He's going to get whatever shot he can get. You just want to make it you want him to take an additional dribble, right? An additional shimmy. You don't want him to just come off the screen. Let's speaking of that. One adjustment that we did make, which I don't know why it takes 2 games to make this adjustment. This adjustment should be made within a timeout of game 1. When Detroit is setting the pick on Cade, you cannot go under the screen. For 2 games in a row, we went under the screen, and the second player, our big, who's supposed to be helping on that pick and roll, is dropped back so far that Cade got all the space and opportunity to take the mid range. He can wait for his big to roll and seal. Today is the first day that the big just stepped up with it. Oh, you screen. Oh, my guy can't get over. I'm gonna come up. I'm just gonna switch on you. Forget it. Another thing that tends to happen when Strus is in the game is there are only about 2 people, maybe 3 people on our team that will fight over the screen. That's Max Strus, that's Dennis Schroeder, and that is Jalen Tyson. Oh, I'm gonna swap Tyson out for Sam Merrill. That's 3 in a possible. We playing spades. Shout out to y'all. Yo, you know we from the Midwest, baby. We play spades, 3 in a possible. Okay, and if I got a king, I'm counting it. I got 4, right? So I got 3 in a possible. I got about 4 people that will fight over the screen. Not James Harden, not Donovan Mitchell, not Dean Wade. They're just going to simply casually switch. So this is why I'm a proponent of Max Strus in the starting lineup. Not only will he try his best to get over the screen, but you know what happens when you do that? It causes an offensive foul, right? An illegal pick on Duren. That happened multiple times today. That's happened multiple times throughout this series, and it's never on Donovan. It's never on James. It's on our tenacious defensive guards, our guards that say, okay, you might be better than me offensively. I might technically can't stop you, but I will outwork you on when it comes to this pick and roll. I'm gonna try to get over that thing, right? Our big stepped up on the pick and roll. Finally, it took him 2 games to figure out step up on the pick and roll. God dang, you just gonna let Cade waltz right, do what he want to do? Come on now. Again, Cade took a lot of shots to get the 27 big points he made. He took 27 shots. And what we didn't do is we didn't let him eat at the line. He only went to the line 6 times, 5 for 6 from the field. I live with that. We only fouled him 5, 6. I live with that. Right? For a person like Cade, for as aggressive as he is, one would think he should probably 8 to 10 attempts a game. But we play honest. We play honest, right? And we helped each other out on defense. We knew what we had to do. We had to play desperate. One of the analysts, I don't know who it is, was talking to Duncan Robinson before the game. Cavs, they're going to be desperate. Da, 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 da. How do y'all, fight that? How do y'all contend with that? He said, you're supposed to play every game desperate. Now, see, that's a JB mindset right there. You play every game desperate. You play every possession like this is the last possession of your career. You play every game like if you lose this game, you're out. I wish we had a March Madness mindset. Welcome to Cavs State of Mind. We need a March Madness mindset. You don't have no series in March Madness. You got one game. Not sidebar. Y'all know they letting an additional 12 teams into March Madness or 10 teams into March Madness. I don't like that. Just keep it the way it is. Everybody want to try to fix stuff that ain't broken, but they won't fix the officiating, right? How did y'all feel about the officials? Do y'all feel like overall they were pretty fair today? I think there were some poor calls, but overall, I would say it was pretty balanced. I wouldn't. I mean, there were some bad calls called for both teams, right? Um, I don't. Again, you won't hear me really complaining about the officials in playoffs. I don't. They're a non-factor unless it's egregious, right? I'm a Cavs fan, so we've experienced poor officiating, especially during those championship run years, right? Especially playing against Golden State. Boy, did we get smoked out of a lot of games. But I'm not. I can't talk about it with this team right here. Right, we gotta tighten up, and as long as we play Cavs brand of basketball, what is that? Taking good shots, right? Moving the ball, not getting stuck in the isolation basketball. I know it paid off in the fourth quarter what Harden did, and he's done that multiple games this season, regular season. But that's not the type of basketball that I'm gonna hang my hat on. I also still prefer Donovan to have the ball last couple minutes in the game. Not for ISO, right? There was a moment where James was at the top of the key. You had Donovan in the deep corner. That's too deep. That's too deep. You had Schroeder at the top left wing, 3-point. That's switch that. Bring Donovan up high, right? And take Schroeder out the picture. You had James wave Schroeder also, so Schroeder ran to the right side, to the deep right corner over there. So on the right side you got Strus, you got Schroeder, you got Donovan deep left, and so you gave James Harden this entire left side of the court to work, and he got Tobias on him. Right, so James Harden thinking, okay, barbecue chicken, I know I can get past Tobias, but you got to be quicker though. You got to be quick, right? You got old man on old man. It could go either way. Flip it a coin. Tobias can get the up on you, or you can get the up on him. But the lesser dribbles, the better, right? So even if you do ISO at the end of the game, bop bop go, right? Don't be sitting up there dancing. This ain't prom, right? This ain't a wedding. You ain't doing your first dance with your wife. Bop bop go, right? And then based on what he do, then you counter. If he jumped too far for the left, swing it back behind the back. Boom, go back to your right. Right? Put your body in him. Spin. Go back to your right. I think James Harden he get a little too reliant upon that left, but I'm not gonna pick him apart today because he had a great game. 8 for 14 from the field, 19 points, 3 for 7, 3-point line. I'm impressed overall with the Cavs. Do we need to tighten up? Absolutely. But we desperately won this game to stay alive. We are down to 1. We have another game at home, okay, which we need to do the same thing, rinse and repeat, tighten up some certain areas, offensive rebounds, tighten up, right? Free throws, tighten up. Do everything else the same, tighten up. Strus, one for 4 from the 3-point line, not gonna work. Sam Merrill, 1 for 3 for the 3-point line, no, that's not gonna work. Tyson, shoot with confidence. Shoot with confidence. And if you're not comfortable with the shot, then dribble in. It's okay to dribble. If you can dribble, it's okay, but dribble with confidence, right? Dribble with strength. Dribble with purpose and attention. Play freer. And that's one thing that Donovan played today. He played free today, right? So shout out to you, Don. That's how you play basketball. Shout out to y'all, man. Again, welcome back to another episode of Cavs State of Mind. We gonna do this again. When the next Cavs game? What's today? Today Saturday, so we play Monday. Okay, see you in LA tonight. I ain't worried about that. But LA is at home. But is Luca playing? If Luca ain't playing, it's smoke. It's smoke in the city. I ain't worried about that. So Monday, we're gonna be right back here with the Cavs. Also on Monday, I always do uh her Court, Her Rules Mondays and Fridays at 6 p.m. If it's a Cavs game, on Monday, I'm probably going to do Cavs State of Mind on Monday. Okay, at 6 p.m. because we in that energy. We in that energy. Shout out to my Las Vegas Aces. They received their rings today. They 2-1 rings today. They got smoked. They got smoked by Phoenix. But that's usually what happens on ring night, on ceremony night. So I'm not gonna overreact. It's the game one of the season, an emotional game today. So shout out to them again. I appreciate y'all for pulling up to another episode of Cavs State of Mind while y'all here, whether y'all here on the live or y'all here on the replay. Make sure you hit that like and hit that subscribe, man. We on the road to 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 subbies. I got tomorrow. I'm gonna have a members only video dropping. So if you're not a member, go ahead and become a member. You can become a member for as low as $1.99 of Beyond the Lens TV. This is bigger than basketball. This we talk about a lot here, right? So we are a growing brand. Jump on board, man. Let the people know where we at. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Cavs Nation. Y'all have a great Saturday. Happy WNBA opener again. And I'll see y'all on the flip. Be right back here Monday at 6 p.m. Peace and freedom, y'all. It's your girl, Najah Lee, signing out.